President Donald Trump will arrive in The Hague on June 24 for a pivotal NATO summit, where he aims to secure an unprecedented defense spending commitment from alliance members. This year's summit could raise the current 2% GDP defense benchmark to 5%, reflecting Trump's long-standing pressure on allies to increase their contributions. Trump's visit to the Netherlands is brief due to intensifying tensions in the Middle East, particularly the ongoing Iran-Israel conflict, which has escalated following recent U.S. airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. Despite a condensed schedule, Trump is expected to address other pressing topics, such as the war in Ukraine, sanctions on Russia, U.S. military posture in Europe, and his interactions with leaders like French President Emmanuel Macron and Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen. The summit's centerpiece is a new proposed defense spending target of 5% of GDP. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte has proposed a two-tier system, with 3.5% allocated to core defense and 1.5% to infrastructure and industrial capacity. A growing number of NATO members, including Germany, support the plan, though Spain has formally opted out, citing economic constraints. The U.S. intends to push allies not only to increase defense budgets, but also to expand industrial capacity to produce vital security materials. The plan marks a departure from the 2% goal set in 2014 after Russia's first invasion of Ukraine. While 23 out of 32 NATO members currently meet the 2% threshold, the proposed increase underscores a growing consensus that Europe must shoulder more responsibility for its own defense. Still, the timeline for reaching the 5% target remains unsettled, with countries like the Baltic states pushing for 2030, while others prefer 2035. Analysts suggest the Trump administration is eager to expedite implementation and secure commitments during the summit. Spain, led by Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, has rejected the 5% target and secured an agreement with NATO to be excluded from it. Spain currently spends about 1.3% of GDP on defense, making it the lowest in the alliance. Beyond defense spending, the summit also focuses on the U.S. force posture in Europe. While reaffirming its commitment to NATO, the Trump administration may announce troop reductions as part of a broader strategy to shift resources to the Indo-Pacific to counter China. Trump's interaction with Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen is also closely watched due to past tensions over Greenland. Both Trump and Biden administrations have raised concerns about Greenland's potential independence and growing Chinese and Russian influence in the Arctic. The Arctic's strategic value has increased due to climate change and its untapped natural resources, including vast reserves of oil, gas, and rare minerals. Meanwhile, Trump faces pressure from European allies to impose tougher sanctions on Russia. However, he has sent mixed signals recently, criticizing G7 leaders for removing Russia from the group and questioning the financial burden of sanctions. He even canceled a planned meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to focus on Iran, though Zelensky is expected at a state dinner in The Hague. Analysts suggest that no major announcements on Ukraine are expected during the summit, as Trump's main objective remains to end the war through negotiations rather than escalation. The administration has not committed to additional aid or new policy initiatives for Ukraine at this time. In summary, the 2024 NATO summit in The Hague may be a turning point for the alliance. Trump seeks to reshape its financial foundation, recalibrate America's military commitments, and redefine strategic priorities in an increasingly unstable global landscape. The outcomes will have lasting effects on the future of transatlantic security cooperation.